great question. You know, one of the things about these fights, these grudge matches, you know, it usually means that these guys really respect each other. You saw respect in there tonight. The thing that I thought was great for Jon Jones is, you know, first 5-rounder against a tough guy. I thought he fought a great fight. He's throwing elbows like they were hands. I thought he fought a great fight tonight. I thought Rashad did too, though. You know, Rashad, you and I spoke about this, and I've talked about it a lot leading up to this fight. I think that Rashad Evans is a guy who hasn't got the respect that he deserves. Guy's been in the UFC since 2005, won the Ultimate Fighter at heavyweight, and has only been beat now by Jon Jones and Machida. You know, I think Jon Jones is going to be one of these kids. He's 24 years old. He's so young. You know, in every fight that he gets, he's gaining experience as he goes, and there's no doubt about it. I mean, Dan Henderson will definitely be a big test for Jon too. You know, it's the thing you got to understand is my Anderson Silva thing is Anderson Silva has been in the UFC for a long time, has never been beat, has literally cleaned out an entire division, and the only guy who's even come close to beating him, Chael Sonnen, he is going to rematch here pretty soon. So it's tough to put anybody in that #1 spot as long as Anderson Silva is still undefeated, in my opinion. What the hell do I know?
Where does Evans and Jones rank with some of those great rivalries?
Yeah, I mean, this was a big one. I guess I'll tell you on Monday. We'll see how the pay-per-view did, but I think it was a big fight. There was a lot of buzz and a lot of energy about this fight. And I think, like I was saying to Kevin earlier, I think it was a really good fight for Jon Jones. It was good for Jon Jones to go 5 rounds. It was good for Jon Jones to have a guy that made him think and not just go in and double leg a guy and drop elbows on him. You know, I thought Jon Jones fought a great fight tonight. You know how the critics are, and the haters are going to talk a bunch of smack about how Jon didn't do this and Jon didn't do that. Well, what you got to do is you got to respect Rashad Evans. Give Rashad Evans the respect he deserves, and you can give Jon Jones the respect he deserves tonight.
Do you feel like 185 is a possibility at all, or do you still feel like you'd be up there and can work your way back up to a rematch?
No, I'm a 205 pounder. You know, I've only lost twice, and you know I lost some good competitors. So I mean, you know, it'd be nice if I won all my fights, but it don't happen like that sometimes. But if an opportunity happens at 185, then I'll take it. But I like 205. I feel like I can work my way back up and get back to another title shot. You know, I don't think I did a good job. I didn't do the things that you know I trained to do, and it was just something I wish I had back. You know, a couple moments in a fight that I feel like I could have took advantage of some situations, but I didn't do it, and it was my mental block, and I didn't go out there and perform the way I wanted to.
I felt great, man. You know, Rashad he's an awesome opponent. He's definitely game. He's fast, he has swag, he punches hard, and you know, I just felt as if the fight elevated me to a different level. You know, I definitely respected Rashad a lot, and you know, I think I was a little intimidated at some points to just believe in my ability and speed and coordination. So I think as a result, I didn't fight as clean as I would like to have. But it was a great fight, and I respect Rashad a lot, and thank him for taking this fight.
Did you feel his power? And you know. Yeah,
definitely. I wouldn't say that I was hurt, but he definitely wobbled me. Getting wobbled doesn't actually hurt. My leg kicks hurt. He actually has my leg sore. I'm surprised because he's not much of a kicker, and he kicked very well tonight. No, so I wasn't hurt, but he did wobble me. There's one point where I had gotten hit, and I was like, oh, okay, I felt that. And then, you know, I tried to side shuffle, and I realized I stumbled, which means I must have been rocked. Yeah, he rocked me, and I was happy that I was able to take punches from Rashad because he's a very powerful puncher.
What did you learn about yourself tonight?
You know, I learned that I need to just trust my stuff a little bit more and not be intimidated, you know, by people, what they have, and just to trust what I have. You know, like I said before, I definitely move very fluently when I'm going against a heavy bag or a coach with mitts. And tonight, I kind of felt gangly and uncoordinated at some points. And I know that came from slight insecurity in my attacks.
Dana, a little off topic, you wear black on black better than anyone.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, buddy. Isn't he the best?
One more question. This one's for Jon. Jon, in the fight, of course, we kind of saw the taunt from Rashad. Were you expecting to maybe see the customary Rashad Evans taunt at some point in the fight? Did it affect you whatsoever? Did it get you going a little bit more when you got that little taunt? I think it was the second round.
It didn't get me going a little bit more, but I was just like, man, this guy is just so smooth. Like, look at him. And the people, I thought I was winning that round, but he still got cheers. I was like, hey, don't cheer. I'm winning this round. You know, what are you doing? But he's just a smooth operator, man. It was I didn't expect it, and you know, I just wanted to land even more. You know, I was like, oh, don't do that in here with me. You know. But
what was going on in the final round when you kind of went to the shuffle mode there for 10 to 15 seconds? You were kind of running a little shuffle around him. What was going on in your head with that?
You know, just to be free, and you know, it is a game, and I felt as if he was respecting it and not attacking when I was doing that. So I was like, sweet, if you're gonna let me shuffle around, I'm gonna get my air back. You know, so. That's what that kind of was about.
You know, do you still affirm right now that the Jackson camp, your preparation that way, had a big part in this fight?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I felt right at home out there. You know, thanks to my coaches and my teammates. You know, I didn't hire anybody new for this camp. The exact same team that I had before, and teammates. Brought in only one wrestler to help me out, and he volunteered because you know, he wrestles with my wrestling coach, Izzy. But anyways, yeah, I believe in my team wholeheartedly, and my whole team sacrificed their fighting styles to mimic Rashad at the best of their ability. My wrestling coach, Izzy style wrestling, he had me really comfortable in the clinch and positions that we knew would be in. Mike John, my kickboxing coach, had, you know, there was tons of reps that things we felt would land, and Greg Jackson with strategy and just really teaching me how to be the warrior that I am today. So I believe in my team wholeheartedly, and you know, I definitely kind of felt like I was fighting for the honor of the program, and it meant a lot to me to you know, defend our team's honor.
Any thoughts on that already? You know, has that already crossed your mind? And
you know what? You know, I feel great that I already have a mission, and I'm going to work extremely hard to better myself. You know, I did things that I could have done better, and Dan Henderson is an awesome opponent. He's a winner. He has a huge fan base. I'm sure the haters going to come right away, which I'm okay with. So it's just going to be a lot of things to conquer in this fight. You know, he has extreme knockout power. I don't know who hits harder between him and Rampage, but he has extreme knockout power, and I'm excited to conquer. I would totally say that Rashad has been my toughest fight to date, and I think a lot of it was because of how talented and awesome of a fighter he is, and a lot of it came from slight insecurity fighting Rashad. You know, Rashad, he did big brother me a few times when we used to work out together, so having that in the back of my head, you know, it made me more hesitant, and so I really had to fight myself in this fight as well as fighting Rashad Evans. So mentally, I think I've been brought to a different level for sure. Biggest lesson I learned from the experience is to stay away from you know, other elite level fighters. You know, to always welcome new talent into the program, but just kind of stay away from elite level talent. And you know, I still got a lot of thinking to do with the whole situation. One thing I do want to get out of this is to rekindle a respect level and some type of communication with the shot, and hopefully we can do that in private and you know, work on that in the future. Because I do have tons of respect for Rashad, and I know he has to respect me to some degree, and there, you know, there's a lot of emotion between us that could lead to a friendship. I mean, it's very easy to get along with and hang out with Rashad, so I think that's something that you know, we both will hopefully look forward to in our private time in the future.
Rashad?
Yeah, like Jon was saying, you know, it takes a while for it to sink in, you know. I still got to go home and probably cry a little bit, but besides that, you know, I don't know. You know, it takes some time for the lessons that you learn from a situation like this to kick in. But, you know, like Jon was saying, you know, you never know what can happen in the future. And, you know, we were friends before, so, you know, you never know what would happen. And, you know, we got some cool experiences that we shared together and that we'll probably have in the future. So we'll see. We'll probably be competing again one of these days. So, you know, we'll keep it on a level where we can say what's up, but at the same time, be willing to, you know, beat the hell out of each other if we have to.
Oh, man.
And the last, Jon, the last 10 seconds of the fifth round, you glimpsed at the clock and you went for the second takedown. What was going through your mind at this time?
You know, I went for a takedown in the last few seconds of the fight. I recall he stuffed it pretty well. Rashad has great hips. And then at the end of the fight, I pulled guard. And, you know, the reason why I pulled guard is because I'm a mixed martial artist. And I think a lot of times people want to, you know, they look at that as being like a sissy move or something. But I think a lot of Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioners around the world loved it and really respected it. So it's part of the game. And I think it was a smart decision.
Is he a difficult guy to keep high on because it's just so difficult to kind of extend momentum against him?
Yeah, he was difficult. You know, he's so frustrating. He's so long, and he's very creative. So, you know, when you know, I was just fighting from my gut, and whenever he hit me with something, I was like, man, I don't know how bad that hurt. You know, so it was a lot of pride. You know, fighting on a lot of pride. But you know, he's a talented kid, and he's got a lot better, like I thought he did, and he was able to keep me from doing what I really wanted to do. And you know, that's what he needed to do to get the win. So I got to give him his respect, and you know, he's a champion. Well, I mean, you know, Jones definitely has a talent, you know, and it's different than anybody else's. So you know, the difference I feel in this fight, you know, since I got older, I've learned how to handle setbacks a little bit better, and you know, I know that the only thing you can do in life is just go forward. No matter how hard things get, you only can go forward and not, you know, hang your head lower, because things can always be worse, you know? And even when you think you're at rock bottom, you can go lower. So I take that and say, I lost tonight, but tomorrow I'll win, I'll get better, and I'll continue to be pursue to try to be champion. I got out slicked, you know, he, I thought I was gonna be able to get him because he was, like, I felt his timing was off. And his timing is really never off, so I felt like he was nervous, you know, because he missed. Because like when he first came out, he was a little bit looser than he normally is. Normally he's a little tighter. So I was like, okay, he's a little bit nervous. And then he started playing a hand game, so I was thinking, okay, this is where I'm gonna be able to take him down, because he's gonna touch, and I know he's gonna go for the elbow, and then that's when I'm gonna drop. But every single time he went for the elbow, I wasn't really ready for it, and he caught me with it. So he all slicked me on that.
What was the game plan going into tonight's fight?
It was just a fight, you know. It was a fight. I knew where Jon's tough at, and I knew where he's hard at. You know, to try to take him down in the open mat is pretty hard to do. You know, so I was just going to try to see, you know, if I got a shot, I was going to take it. But if not, I wasn't going to force anything. And but at the same time, I need to be creative, and I wasn't creative enough. You know, I threw an inside leg kick, and he checked it with his knee. And I couldn't really bounce after that. I lost the springs in my shoes. So, but you know, he fought a good fight. Nah, I just think that I was flat. I was flat when I came out. You know, I didn't really feel like my normal self, and had a great camp. But just sometimes you go out and you don't feel it. You know, there was times in the fight where I was like, okay, I felt like I could have done something. And I just didn't do it. I didn't pull the trigger when I needed to, and you know, those are just the frustrating things where I gotta go back and just figure out what I did wrong. Yeah, I wanted to put more pressure on him, but at the same time, I didn't want to rush it, you know, because he does have those long knees, right. So I didn't want to rush it, and I know he was expecting me to do that. So I try to really attack people where they're least expecting me. I just didn't throw enough combinations in them the right way I needed to, and that was the story of the night for me. Right. Not throwing enough, not getting off enough, not being first enough, and it cost me the fight. You know, there's opportunities where I had them, landed a good shot or so, but I didn't follow up with the meaningful combinations, and it cost me the fight. So I really got no one to blame but myself, and I know what I need to do to get the job done. I just didn't get it done tonight. Yeah, you know, I started playing a game, and I knew better to play it. What threw me off with doing it what I was planning to do is because the front kick, you know, I knew he was going to try to come up. I originally planned to go to the body, start with the body and start building up, but I was never able to do that, and I wasn't consistent enough with my pressure, with my punches. So I just didn't, you know, do what I felt like I needed to do.
And I wanted to ask you, you know, Anderson's been unbeaten in the UFC and had all the records. When you look at Jon in the last year, beating Hua, Rampage, Machida, now tonight, you know, a convincing win over you, do you think he's closed the gap or in any way past Anderson?
Well, I mean, you know, talking about Anderson Silva, he's done quite a bit in the sport, you know. I think Jon's definitely on his way. You know, he definitely deserves his credit, but he's still got to clean out everybody in the weight class. So Anderson, they can't find really nobody to go with him except for Chael. So you know, it remains to be seen if he'll get to that level, but it looks like he's on his way there.